Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess. You are on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. This monologue opens every chapter of Slay the Princess. No matter how many times you die, no matter how much changes, the game always resets you back to the same impossible choice. And in my opinion, no route uses that repetition better than the Thorn Route. First, let's talk about how to reach it, and then why it becomes one of the most emotionally powerful stories in the entire game. To begin, you must refuse to take the pristine blade in Chapter 1. Instead of trying to kill the princess, you attempt to free her. But as the narrator begins taking control of your body, the situation spirals out of your hands. You can either slay her yourself or hesitate long enough for her to escape. Either way, trust is broken, and that betrayal shapes everything that comes next. Chapter 2. The Witch. When you enter the basement again, this time carrying the pristine blade, the princess immediately recognizes what you've become. Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down, don't be scared, I probably won't bite. The line is sarcastic, but underneath it is genuine pain. The princess no longer sees you as someone trying to help her. She sees you as a threat. And what makes this chapter so uncomfortable is how fragile every interaction feels. Every conversation feels like walking on eggshells. You're trapped in the aftermath of mutual betrayal. Eventually, the hero can say, "I'm sorry about last time." Clearly, there's some broken trust here. What if I gave you this? Give her the blade. The narrator and the other voices immediately oppose the decision. To them, giving up the blade is suicide. But that's what makes the moment important. For the first time, you willingly make yourself vulnerable, and the princess responds exactly how you fear she will. She takes the blade and buries it in your chest. Then, with genuine sadness in her voice, she says, "Why did you make me do this?" That line is what makes the Witch Route hurt so much emotionally. She doesn't sound victorious. She sounds disappointed. Like part of her wanted to trust you again, but couldn't. And then the chapter ends. Chapter 3. The Thorn. Once again, the story begins with the same familiar words. You are on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. But this time, everything feels different. Throughout these chapters, both you and the princess have hurt each other over and over again. You betrayed her trust. She killed you twice. The relationship between both characters has become trapped in a cycle of fear and violence, and the cabin itself reflects that. The interior is not an interior anymore, but rather the burned-out ruins of something from the past. The place is filled with ash, but red poppies now grow among the wreckage of the old. The pristine blade is nowhere to be seen. The old cycle is literally decaying around you. When you descend into the basement, you find the princess trapped inside a prison of twisting thorns, clutching the blade close to her chest. Even now, she still doesn't trust you. Every movement you make is met with suspicion. She constantly threatens to swallow the blade if you try to take it from her. But unlike previous routes, the solution isn't violence. The solution is patience. Trust has to be earned. Eventually, she willingly gives you the blade, and instead of using it to kill her, you cut her free from the thorns imprisoning her. It's one of the most important symbolic moments in the game. For the first time, The blade becomes a tool of salvation instead of destruction. And then comes the moment that completely changes the route. You're given the option to kiss the princess. The narrator absolutely despises this choice, mocking and resisting it the entire time. But despite everything, despite the fear, the betrayal, and the violence, both characters finally choose vulnerability over control. And after the kiss, something incredible happens. The vines blocking your escape finally break apart. You and the princess walk out of the cabin together, hand in hand. No manipulation, no violence, no cycle repeating itself again. Just trust. And that's why I think the Thorn Route is so emotionally powerful. Throughout the entire game, you are constantly told that the princess must die. Every voice in your head pushes you toward fear, suspicion, and violence. Most routes reinforce that cycle over and over again, but the Thorn Route is different. It's the only route where both characters truly acknowledge the damage they've caused each other and still choose forgiveness anyway. You aren't saving the world by killing the princess. You save it by finally breaking the cycle. And that's what makes the Thorn Route feel like the game's closest thing to a true redemption story.